There's something about dragonflies that just makes them seem magical. Their iridescent wings shimmering in the sunlight, their huge compound eyes bulging from their heads like polished gemstones. But for all their otherworldly appearance, they're actually quite simple creatures with short life cycles that can take some unexpected twists and turns. And it turns out, these so-called dragonflies have more in common with butterflies than you might think. Let us dig into this insect's incredible adaptations and find out how it became the aerial acrobat of the insect world. We'll start with a little-known fact about dragonflies. Despite what you may have heard, they aren't actually insects at all. They belong to a group of flying arthropods called odonats, which split off from other insects between 300 and 360 million years ago. In fact, they're more closely related to crustaceans like crabs and lobsters than they are to butterflies and moths. Despite the fact that dragonflies look and act much more like insects than they do like crabs, the name dragonfly comes from the Old English word dragon, meaning son of the dragon, or dragon offspring. It was thought that dragonflies were actually the children of dragons. This is probably because of their somewhat fearsome appearance, especially when you consider that some species can be over 7 inches across. Most odonats are small, though, and they're also incredibly agile flyers. While their larvae can stay underwater, sometimes living in ponds and lakes, adult dragonflies tend to be found near water since they need it to survive. They have special structures called gills on their abdomens that help them get oxygen. These external respiratory organs are made of stacked plates, which allow them to absorb oxygen directly from the air. So although dragonflies do have a network of tubes inside their bodies that carry air around, like most other flying insects, they don't breathe through a series of holes called spiracles, which are located along the sides of their exoskeletons, like most other terrestrial arthropods. Instead, their gills extract oxygen through diffusion, kind of like our skin does. These adaptations allowed early dragonflies to spend more time in the air than their relatives, who stayed mostly on land. In fact, odonates as a whole are considered to be the first true flyers in the history of life on Earth. Their ancestors were small marine creatures, who used their large, flat tails to steer themselves while swimming. But eventually, some of them adapted fins that were more horizontal and used them to glide above the water. Over millions of years, these gliding odonats evolved wings and mastered powered flight. Dragonflies today are among the fastest insects in the world, capable of reaching speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. They can fly forwards, backwards, sideways, even upside down. And their huge compound eyes give them nearly 360-degree vision, allowing them to spot predators and prey from almost any angle. Of course, that doesn't mean they can see well. Their eyes are only good for detecting motion. And since they're so active during the day, they rely on their excellent vision to spot things like trees and power lines and avoid smacking into them. That said, dragonflies do have one major blind spot directly behind them, so if something tries to eat them, they usually see it coming and have enough time to zoom away. Dragonflies are such ferocious predators that they've earned nicknames like mosquito hawks and snake doctors. They feed primarily on other flying insects, like mosquitoes and even other dragonflies. In fact, dragonflies are the only known animals that hunt other dragonflies. Their diet is so varied, though, that they can play an important role in ecosystems by controlling populations of agricultural pests. In turn, dragonflies themselves can sometimes fall victim to pests. Mites can parasitize dragonflies, laying their eggs inside the bodies of their unsuspecting hosts. When the eggs hatch, the mites immediately make their way to the dragonfly's gills. They set up shop and start feeding on their host's blood. Infected dragonflies can become too weak to fly and are essentially no longer useful as aerial acrobats. But not all parasites have such a negative effect on their hosts. Some species of parasitic wasps lay their eggs inside of dragonfly eggs, hitching a ride until they're ready to hatch. The young wasps then mate with each other so that each female is pregnant before they even leave the dragonfly egg. Once they emerge, they immediately set about building small nests where they can lay their own eggs and continue the cycle, whether they're being hunted or doing the hunting. Dragonflies are certainly an important part of our natural world, reminding us that there's magic in every corner of the planet if we know where to look. Speaking of magic, thanks for watching this episode, which was brought to you with the help of our patrons. If you'd like to help us make more videos about awesome animals, You can go to our support page to learn how you can help.